With the announcement of SteamOS coming to a handful of devices this year, it's pretty exciting, honestly. SteamOS is one of the best ways to play PC games portably, just because of the more console experience, which most people actually prefer. I personally use Windows on my Steam Deck, but I understand that it's not for everybody, and it's not a perfect solution. And even on devices that are designed with Windows in mind, like the ROG Ally and the Legion Go, it's not exactly still great. Even though they have things to, make the experience better, things that overall improve the experience, it doesn't really change the fundamental issue of Windows being kind of garbage at this. And since Microsoft is almost unwilling to make a handheld mode for these devices, slowly pushing away all the PC handheld manufacturers into making deals with Valve for SteamOS, and it makes you wonder if Valve has any incentive to actually make a Steam Deck 2 at this point, when a fleet of devices are going to be coming out this year with greater compatibility with SteamOS. Valve originally said any discussion about a Steam Deck 2 would not happen until 2025, and it's still early days for the year, but I honestly don't know if we are going to hear much of anything for Steam Deck 2. Valve bringing SteamOS to more and more powerful devices almost negates the need. The Z series of chips are more optimized for gaming, and the custom Rembrandt just whenever processors found in the Steam Deck that was co-developed with AMD, while cool and super interesting, it is starting to show its age. And since that chip was designed and operated on SteamOS, you might think, oh, that gets part of its advantage, which is true. But Valve bringing these other devices into the SteamOS ecosystem might just bring that level of optimization to the Z series of chips, kind of not necessarily necessitating the need for a dedicated Steam device. And I'm not saying it's a non-zero chance it might happen, but it is an important thing to take into consideration. It might just mean that it's going to take a little bit longer than we probably originally had hoped for a Steam Deck 2. The other thing Valve said about a potential Steam Deck 2 is that they want to wait until there's been actual improvements, a generational leap in terms of technology. So that could basically mean anything of doubling of performance, doubling of efficiency, anything that would actually show a considerable improvement. Because as it currently stands, the Z2 line of chips aren't revolutionary, they're simply refining what we currently have. I think this is enough for Valve to maybe consider a Steam Deck 2, but maybe from their perspective, yeah, it's better, but it's not better in so much in a way that it is awe-inspiring or it's interesting. Almost like Nintendo in a sense that they only update their consoles and they upgrade things to have more creative and different ways to play. No one of their consoles are identical, even in consideration between the Wii and the Wii U. Well, fundamentally, they are functionally the same, just one is more powerful, but they introduced the tablet, which was kind of cool at the time, but now just looks kind of terrible. Valve might be waiting for an opportunity like that to do something interesting, something completely different that improves the way you play your games. They could also be waiting for better Linux support from developers, so when they release a Steam Deck 2, there's actually more to do or just greater compatibility with games. They could also be waiting for just generally better hardware from AMD. While it's not a slouch by any means, some of the best gaming hardware out there, but maybe they're just waiting for something a little bit more powerful, so they can claim, oh, the Steam Deck 2 is 50% higher performance than the original Steam Deck, so they could just essentially claim a bigger number. Something to push in the marketing to make the whole thing look a lot better. But it could also end up being that Valve simply has their attention divided in too many places, having constant development on SteamOS in preparation for all these other devices becoming available for the operating system, games in development like Half-Life 3 allegedly happening. Valve is kind of all over the place right now, not necessarily in terms of quality, but they're all over the place in the sense that they're doing a lot of things right now, and it's understandable that they might not have the manpower to dedicate on a Steam Deck 2. At least in any capacity where we might get some decent amount of information or even a full release this year, which that alone I do not think is going to happen. I think at best we'll get information about the Steam Deck 2, and then for a release in 2026, sometime in February. But that is a big if of we even get any information in the first place. Valve is pretty good at keeping their secrets close to the chest, so I anticipate if there is one in development, we will never hear about it anytime soon, until Valve is good and ready to show it off themselves. With the fact that SteamOS is coming to all these other handhelds is probably greater proof that Valve is waiting for some actual generational leaps here before they even consider working on their next device. And I'm aware this video might age like milk when inevitably I am wrong, and in a couple months we get a whack ton of leaks and rumors about a Steam Deck 2 potentially, but I don't have a magical crystal ball that tells me the future. I know just about as much as what you guys can do and find on your own, so my crystal ball is just as good as any of your guys's. Well, all I'm saying is it's essentially don't get your hopes up for a Steam Deck 2, and as it stands, the current Steam Deck is still pretty decent. While it's not the most powerful thing out there anymore, it's still a pretty fun overall experience. I've made multiple videos about whether or not the Steam Deck will survive this year and just overall using it so many years later, and it's still a great experience, but you might not get the best value out of it when playing modern AAA titles. But if what you care about is playing the classics, relatively low-end games, indie hits, and even emulation, you might not necessarily need much more than what the Steam Deck can provide, unless you want considerably better battery life, which you won't find here unless you buy like an ROG Ally X, a Legion Go S, or something like the Legion Go 2 when that eventually comes out. Because I think what dates the Steam Deck the most is its battery, which I don't think it's super out of the question. We might see another Steam Deck revision, maybe something costing it down a little bit, or increasing battery capacity, which we got with other devices this year. So I think it's pretty reasonable to assume potential refreshes, which honestly would be kind of sick because as it currently stands, the Steam Deck has okay to bad battery life. If you're in Windows, it's bad battery life pretty much all the time, unless that one guy in the comments somehow figured out how to almost double their battery life by disabling some setting in Windows, and now it's amazing, which I was unable to figure out, but cool for them, I guess. Other than that, I would love to hear what you guys think. Do you think there's going to be the potential for a Steam Deck 2? Is there information that I simply didn't find? Leave it down below, because I am super interested to hear what you guys have to say, because I love the Steam Deck, but Valve is making moves making me think that I don't necessarily believe that we're going to receive a Steam Deck 2 anytime soon. So I love to hear what you guys think about this down below. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the other social media groups down below. And last but not least, have a wonderful day.